Number 201 flight was a Royal Australian Air Force experimental electronic intelligence flight of World War II. The flight was formed in March 1945, but the first of its modified B-24 Liberator heavy bombers was not ready until July that year. As a result, while a detachment of the unit was deployed to Darwin in the Northern Territory, Number 201 flight did not conduct any operational missions before the end of the war. Following the Japanese surrender, some consideration was given to retaining the flight as part of the RAAF, but it instead ceased to function in December 1945 and was disbanded in March 1946. Number 201 flight was formed in RAAF Station Laverton on March 10, 1945 as Radio and Radar Experimentation Unit. Its specific role was to use modified B-24 Liberator heavy bombers to determine the characteristics of Japanese radar stations so that they could be effectively attacked by Allied aircraft. These tasks were considered to be highly important and secret by the RAAF, and few people outside of Number 201 flight knew that the unit existed. In order to further protect secrecy, the flight's personnel were not briefed on the purpose of the unit and its aircraft beyond their individual responsibilities. At the time it was formed, Number 201 flight was not issued with any aircraft. Its first two B-24s arrived on 5 and April 27 respectively and were transferred to Number 1 Aircraft Performance Unit, 1 APU, to be modified for their specialized role. The main elements of these modifications were the removal of the ball turret and the addition of a radar scanning dome and fully enclosed radar operator's cabin. The aircraft were also fitted with an N/APR-1 radar intercept receiver, though it was hoped to replace these with N/APR-4 sets. It took longer than expected to complete these modifications, and the first aircraft wasn't returned to Number 201 flight until mid-July, and the second aircraft was completed in either August or September. A third B-24 was also issued to the flight in August, and a fourth aircraft joined it sometime afterwards. A detachment of about 100 Number 201 personnel were transferred to Darwin in the Northern Territory to prepare for operations, while the rest of the unit remained at Ascot Vale until the B-24s were ready. The deployment of these aircraft was further delayed by bad weather at Melbourne, which disrupted Number 201 flight's training program. However, two modified B-24s had reached Darwin by the time the war ended in mid-August, but the flight had not been able to conduct any operational missions by this time. In September, Number 201 flight's commanding officer, Wing Commander C.S. Davies, was informed by RAAF headquarters that there were tentative plans to retain the unit at Laverton as part of the post-war RAAF. The Ascot Vale element of the flight moved to Laverton on October 9, and the Darwin detachment arrived there on the 16th of the month. Number 201 flight conducted some test flights during November, but it was ultimately decided to disband the unit. The flight ceased to function on December 17 and was disbanded on March 15, 1946.